your Son, Jesus Christ, who gives us, Lord, grace every day. And we thank you for the inheritance, Lord, that we look forward to because of what he has given to us, or what you've given to us through him. So, Lord, we just praise you today, and Lord, we make ourselves, Lord, available today for whatever you want to do. We look forward to what you have for us on this trip to Israel, Lord. We've been anticipating for months, and Father, planning, and now we're going into the final stages of planning. And Lord, just pray that you'll help us make the proper accommodations and plan appropriately. So we ask for wisdom, for guidance today, and thank you for Jared and for Ed and Sheila. Lord, we just look forward to whatever you have for us, Lord, as we make these preparations, that you would guide us and direct us according to your perfect plan. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right. Well, today is a very special day. We have a guest presenter, my dear wife. Hey. And so I kind of learned a while ago that I should not be the one talking about packing for the whole group, because it may not quite suffice for everyone in the room. And so Melissa is going to walk through. Sorry, I was doing training at her work yesterday, and so she's Melissa at work, but she's Missy everywhere else, so I apologize for that. So, using interchangeably. So she's gonna kind of go over what her packing is like. That will hit some of the things on this list. Feel free to ask questions, and then we'll walk through the itinerary a day at a time, and I'll hit anything that she doesn't cover on the list. But view this more as a conversation to make sure that everyone's very comfortable with our trip, as we're just about 2 months away. So it's coming fast.
Yeah. So, you have your list of everything that you should bring, but sometimes visuals help if you're like, what do you mean by said item here? So I won't highlight everything on the list, but I'll highlight a lot of things on the list. And so I won't do it in any particular order. So I'm just gonna pull stuff out of my bag at random. Like a Mary Poppins bag over here. So it depends, how much the heat gets to you. Some of you are fine if you're out in the heat, and some of you aren't. So I put an umbrella in here. I've seen people bring umbrellas in the past. There's not a lot of shade. Sometimes you find it. Sometimes you find it, but then there's other times it's just out in the open. And so if you like to have shade, you can get a really compact umbrella. I don't recommend bringing your full-size Bible, even if that's, the one that you've underlined and highlighted in, but it's really nice to be able to have it at the sites if it's something small that can fit with you. So notice it's a Moody Bible. I know you can't see it from here, but it's a Moody Bible.
Is there internet so we could use our phones?
Is there internet for your phone usage for your Bible?
We will talk cell phones more, but at the site, there's usually not Wi-Fi.
But I mean, if you had a Bible downloaded.
Oh, no problem. Easy peasy.
Oh yeah, because
Yep.
that's right. You can download some of the translations
Yeah.
on your
So if
phone.
you have one downloaded on your phone, easy peasy.
Yeah. You're gonna want different footwear for this. And I know some people are like, I just have my one pair of shoes and those are the shoes, but doesn't work for Israel. So it's recommended that you might want some water shoes. Jared has gym shoe type water shoes that he likes, but these are good for if you go in Hezekiah's tunnel and you go through the water version, or when you go to the Dead Sea if you don't want to just step out there without water shoes on. And I know for myself, I went and upgraded 4 gym shoes to a pair of Brooks because I have plantar fasciitis and I didn't wanna just wear old shoes. There's some other shoes in here, but I'll unearth them in a little bit. So I recommend you have a good pair of gym shoes. You have to have closed-toed shoes at one site in particular, I believe.
Archaeological dig.
But even when you're not at the archaeological dig, I don't suggest sandals or flip-flops because there are some surfaces that aren't totally flat, that you'll just want more foot protection. So I'll get the other shoes out in a bit. But hats, bought this for Jared and you won't wear it. I even got it on clearance, but whatever. This wide brim hat is, really compact, but it's covering your neck. And sometimes you forget about that sunscreen spot that gets on the back of your neck. So a wide brim hat is really nice, especially one when you can just take it off and have it behind you. And this is another hat that just really keeps the sun all away from your face, that I've worn before. And these hats are nice too, but if you really want to not have the sun in your face and in your eyes. In terms of bags, you're gonna want to, you're gonna likely want your water bottle with you. You can bring your own water bottle to refill every day at hotel breakfast. They have a spot where you can fill up your water bottle. I recommend bringing your favorite one because I left mine one time there in one of the bathrooms and I was really bummed about that. You can buy water every day from the bus driver. It's $1 a bottle. So after a while, we just kept refilling our plastic water bottles there. But you can even get, they have like water bottle holder slings. My grandma had one and I always thought, what? Well, in Israel, that's really handy. But if you don't want that, and you wanna be able to put your water in a bag, it says drawstring bag on the list. However, these, and especially if you get sunburnt, and the more weight you put in them, really pulls on your shoulders and digs in and it gets uncomfortable, and especially if you get sweaty and it hurts even more. So these are not actually my favorite to use, especially the ones with thinner cord because they dig in. Hey look, Moody again. So this bag is really lightweight and it scrunches up when you're not using it, but like a lightweight backpack like this can hold your water bottle.
I
Can
was
hold,
actually backpack and a fanny pack.
oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Then it can hold your Bible, it can hold your water. If, I don't know what you're providing them for notes,
The little one.
but Jared usually gives people places to take notes at each site. And some people really like using that. Some people write everything Jared says and need a smaller notebook, to be able to write stuff down. Or, yeah. No, like,
It sounded like you said they need a smaller notebook.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't say that much?
like a small notebook
Okay.
Important things.
to,
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
because you're, like, the notes you give them, you can't take as many notes if you wanna take copious notes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll
Okay.
provide you guys with a spiral bound, notebook that has every site that we go to in it with notes and pictures and then some diagrams and some recreation photos in there and maps. And so that has spots to take notes, but it's not like, there's like and there's extra space in the back to take notes, but it's not like, it's very bulleted if you're gonna do that. If you were like wanting to journal your experience out, you'd want something else than what we provide you. But for a visual reference point, especially after the trip, you won't, it's very good, so.
Yeah, so,
Can we
Yes.
go back to the water bottle?
Mhm.
Do you recommend we do a filtered one, or do we have to worry about
oh
that?
no, the hotel has wonderful water to get every day.
Okay.
You don't need any filter.
Israel's so good with their water, they're giving it away to other countries.
Okay.
So anyways, bag options, whatever, you might even wanna put your stuff in your bag and wear it around the house and see how comfortable you think it is, cause you will be wearing it a lot of the day. For, water shoes, these are just like generic, Keens that I've had for years, but they've worked out well because they have the closed toe and they, you know, give you a decent amount of support. So I usually have to bring 3 pair of shoes, for this. For men and women, these zip-off pants, cause these can be shorts or pants. There's, I don't know how many sites where men have to wear pants, but there are.
We'll go through that, after we finish in
Yeah.
terms of the, itinerary.
So this is a good option if you know that you want to be wearing shorts, but you know that at some sites you'll need, pants to have. And Jared gets these like lightweight REI ones, that he prefers. I
And he gets
usually,
his hiking pants at
Yeah.
Costco,
oh yeah,
and has got some really good deals.
but it depends when you shop, you know, cause Costco is, it's there, it's gone. It's like all
It ain't
of
gone
it.
tomorrow.
What was
Yeah.
that brand you said?
REI, they can be pricey, but, they're really comfortable and lightweight.
Walmart
So-
has some better stuff.
Yeah. I personally like to wear capris because I'm not sweating wearing pants, but I'm not worried that I'm wearing shorts and then I'm allowed to wear capris anywhere. There's some sites that if you're wearing shorts, women, you can't do that.
Except for the Temple Mount. but we're done with that.
So.
I don't wear capris, guys, just so you know. I know some guys do, but I don't. So.
It got coined as a modesty kit.
Yeah.
When, we had gone to Israel one of the first times, and when I had shorts on, then when we were gonna go somewhere, Jared would cue us like, modesty time, and then there's just this tie skirt wrap that you could wear, which I did buy this in Israel, but you can also buy it online.
Yeah, buy it online. We did have a mix-up on one of our trips where a person thought that they were gonna buy one in Israel before we had a modesty site, but definitely not the case. We try to save the majority of the shopping till the very end of the trip, so that way you're not schlepping it the whole tour. So modesty kit hacked on the way to Israel,
Yes,
not acquiring it in Israel. That would be very disappointing to you as it was to this lady,
yes,
and she let me know that she was disappointed.
yes, she did.
So if you have slacks on, you can. is
Oh,
that-
pants are great, yep.
That's fine,
Yep,
okay.
yep, pants are
Yes.
great, can't go wrong with pants.
And for women, if you have, sleeveless shirts, you know, cause it's warm, you'll want to have some type of, like this is just a really hefty scarf, but, if you keep it in your bag, then when you go to a modesty site, then your arms are covered, your shoulders are covered, I should say, and that's passable to get into that site. But the same scarf, if I were wearing shorts, is long enough where, I could tie the end of it and it would still cover my knees. Your knees have to be covered, if you go to certain sites for women in particular. So, that's why Jared will cue you, it's a modesty day, and so you'll just have something like this to have in your bag for the day. But if you wear short sleeves and women capris, then every day you're fine. But you know how you feel in certain temperatures. There's one lady that wore jeans on our trip, and every day I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying just even looking at you. And she was totally comfortable, you know, so it just depends what you need. For men or women, one of these vests is also really handy. I just bought it on, I think we just bought it on Amazon, but it has like 1,000 pockets, and Jared usually wears this because you're gonna have a mic pack, to be able to listen to him wherever you are in line. You have, I think they refer to it as like have your ears in, because you can't hear Jared, or it's usually David, who's the licensed tour guide. You need a licensed tour guide wherever you go in Israel when you're looking at sites. And so that way you can hear him, even if you're last in the group, middle in the group. So you might want to have your, mic pack in something, or if you have a large, small Bible to put in here. So some people really like this vest, cause then you don't have to have a bag or whatnot. In Hezekiah's tunnel, you want a headlamp if you go through the tunnel to be able to see in front of you. So this is one of our headlamps that we have. If you have a cell phone and you have, I can't find where it went, but it's just like a plastic case that keeps your phone dry on a lanyard. And I would keep that with me, so I wasn't like, oh wait, let me get this picture and try to pull it out of my my pocket. So I just had it, and then I also didn't drop it down a faraway place either. You could use that through Hezekiah's tunnel, or headlamp, or if you have nothing, you have to just trust the person in front of you or behind you to put it away.
The buddy system.
Do you
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
brand name
Yeah.
on the headlamp or?
It says Victober. I mean,
It's Amazon purchase.
You can
Yeah.
get them
Yeah.
at Menards.
Walmart.
My husband got them at Menards, Walmart, and then your phone case, you can get at Dollar General.
And if you really, really are the last minute person, they sell little cheap ones at the City of David that you can clip onto your baseball cap.
oh yeah,
They
that's
don't
true. They're
work
not
well
bright.
at all.
They're not bright.
So you want super bright ones like my husband has? I make fun
Ed,
of
hit the
him all
lights.
the time, I'm like.
The flashing light is what you need.
Ed, who likes this, please?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we haven't charged that one. Thanks, Ed.
I don't know how many of you are a person that, need to travel, or need to have a fan. Jared has to sleep with the fan, and now being married to him for this long, now I have to sleep with a fan. You can do a white noise app on your phone if you don't need the breeze on you, but if you're someone that needs a fan, we actually found one that you can almost totally take apart, and this is Jared's, travel fan for, Israel. He won't sleep, he doesn't have it. And then, you need adapters as well, if you're going to curl your hair. They generally have blow dryers there, but if you need to plug anything in, such as a cell phone, you need, is this one the one for Israel this time, the Type H one?
Yep. So there's, here.
Type H is
So-
the kind.
If you want to do something like curling irons, then you need one like this, which is an international travel adapter. And what this is a step down from 220 to 110 for the voltage, because all the voltage in Israel is higher than here. So it's a little bit more expensive since it's a step down voltage converter. Okay. Everybody good with that?
No, so how about for a cell phone?
Cell phone automatically change. Yep, so I'll show you what you can use for those. So what Missy just showed you is a cheapy Type H. Okay, so you can plug one thing into that. And you can plug your cell phone into that. Cell phones, computers, all of that automatically converts on its own because they're made internationally and so they're designed to go back and forth between 110 and 220.
Type H.
And then if you're like me and you might have a few things to plug in, then this is a little bit more, but it's kind of in between the two. And then this one has a regular plug-in, plus it has a USB, USB-C on the side, so you can plug a few things into that one. And it's basically like a mini power strip. So, kind of depends on how many things you're charging, how many things you have, but again, this won't convert from 220 to 110, but it will do a couple things at once. So, does that make sense? The difference? Did I create any confusion in giving you options?
So that one there, you can't use for a hairdryer, curling iron, or anything like
Correct,
that?
yep. Yeah, so that one you do have to,
They do have,
Blow
hair
dryers.
dryers there.
Okay.
yeah, all the hotels will have, blow dryers in the bathroom.
Well, I'm probably gonna do a ponytail and a hat.
Yeah, there you go, no problem.
We don't have anything where you gotta get fancied up for anything, so.
Nope.
But that one does, is there one that does it all? Like converts?
Oh, well, this
You can
guy on
charge
the,
your-
this guy on the side does quite a bit as well. It has a USB-C on the side as well. So that guy, you know, you could get, this guy's gonna do everything for you.
Except your hairdryer, or your,
Oh, no, he'll do that too,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Oh, well, the all
Yeah.
we, okay. hold
Yeah.
on.
What
Yeah.
type of problems do they have?
ALWPI.
in their-
Like that, that's a, yeah.
Missy, why don't you pass it around?
A little show and tell.
So we have to go from
Show and tell.
So, your phone charger?
Yep.
If you could, do you use a USB, is there a USB on the bus or on the vehicle, or?
Yeah, good question, yep. So on the bus, there will be, USB plugins, to charge, but they do not charge very fast.
Oh, okay.
So,
So we wouldn't need one for the hotel?
I mean, I would personally.
Okay.
The other thing I travel with that I like, because it's like a security blanket for me, is a battery pack. So that way, this guy can be charged up and then you can just plug things into there, so. You cannot pack this in your luggage that is your checked bag, cause they blow up. But you can have it on your, carry-on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carry it on your lap.
Yeah,
Same way with the headlamp.
yeah, with lithium, yeah.
So this, you have one of these packs, right?
Yep,
And that we have to carry with us on the plane.
carry on, yep.
Okay.
So
So,
are you checking the bag? Everybody's checking the bag rather than?
That's what I was gonna ask, my husband specifically asked on that.
yep, so, with your ticket, everybody gets one free checked bag, up to 50 pounds. And then the size, I mean, it's a pretty good size. I can email, is the dimensions on there? Yeah, the dimensions are on there. And then you get a carry-on, and then you get a personal item. So like if you're on the plane with a backpack and a purse, the backpack would be your carry-on and the purse would be a personal item. Or you could have like, one of the smaller roller, but they're getting really tight for international flights for your carry-on, that they really gotta meet that standard. And then a backpack can be your carry-on item. So depending on how much you wanna bring, you know, you can do that. So for most people, if you have a checked bag and, a backpack, you're pretty well covered, so.
Bob was saying though, he wondered how many times we're going, are we every day leaving the hotel and going somewhere else?
Okay,
So,
good question. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Go ahead.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, please.
Can your backpack be your personal item then?
Yeah,
And then you could have a roller bag still?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, cause a personal item has to be able to be stowed in the seat in front of you, underneath the seat in front of you. That's what counts as a personal item. If it's
So
too
make
big
sure
to do
it's-
that, it's too big to be a personal item. Yeah, so that's how they measure that, so.
So if you're a light packer,
Yep, praise the Lord.
and you weren't going to, you don't need a fan.
Whoa, hey! This is pretty light. You should see what I have in my trunk that I drive around with for Moody. I've got a utility fan that I travel with.
It
This
sounds
is,
like a jet engine.
yeah, this is my baby fan. This is,
We have a square one that's about like this, that you don't need even, you can use a battery, it recharges.
Okay.
yeah, okay, so that's a good point. So if
But
you.
what was your question?
My question
Oh,
was,
sorry. Yeah, questions are important.
so is it not important, I mean, if everybody else is checking a bag, then we're gonna have to wait for check bags, period. So you really,
Might as well.
it's not important to pack light because you're paying for a check bag, it's included,
Mhm.
and everybody else is gonna have a check bag, it seems like.
Yep.
So,
Do they have elevators in every hotel?
yeah.
Yeah, but on the Sabbath, they push all of us.
So, that's a good question. So all of the hotels will have them.
Yeah.
At Magan, we usually get what are more like cabins.
Okay,
So we'll just be able to roll to the front door.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's more like a one-bedroom apartment you get for that stint at the Galley.
okay.
Yeah, so it has like a kitchen area, a living room area, a bathroom, and then a bedroom, so.
Okay.
And those are like little like bungalows facing the Sea of Galilee, so. Okay, good, sorry.
Sorry, just remember, it's a discussion.
Did you show all the stuff out tonight?
Not yet. I'm
Yeah.
near the end. Near the end.
Poppins.
I couldn't find where I stashed this, and this is only a short person preference, but when I'm on a plane for a long time and I'm not very tall, I just feel quite uncomfortable. So I actually bought this for our last Israel trip. It goes over the tray, and it's a footrest, they call it a foot hammock, but it was quite comfortable, for me to be able to have this. You just have to put your feet on it lightly at first, so the person behind you doesn't feel that, but I really liked it, but again, this is just a preference thing. And I've used the traditional, neck pillow, and I've come to find that those are not my favorite. Jared, got this like, I don't know quite what you call it, but this, it looks like a neck brace,
It's
but
not
it
worth
like,
it, let me just tell you right now.
you don't
I
like
did
it?
all the research on the very best one. It just feels like it's gonna kill you.
Some people really like it, and I think it's comfortable, but if you want the, traditional kind, then surely, but it, cause I feel like when you have the neck pillow, you're always, like, it's bulky behind you, and this one isn't bulky behind you, but,
How many hours is the flight?
9.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it
9
should,
for
should
one.
be, from Chicago to Europe should be about 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And then about 3 to 4 from Europe to Tel Aviv, so,
Altogether.
yeah. 12 altogether, yeah.
And with that, if, you're someone that has trouble falling asleep, or even if you wanna be able to sleep on the plane, a type of sleep aid can be helpful. This is just a generic Target one, but, your body clock kinda gets off, so if you're like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep on the plane, you might consider bringing a sleep aid with you.
Do you know, I know there's certain countries that don't allow certain over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah.
So like I use, essential oils,
Mhm.
and that is one of my sleep aids. Do you
Yeah.
know if we'll have troubles with that?
I
I don't have troubles stateside.
I have not had that issue before.
Less than 3 ounces.
I'd be excited if you did. Just from a learning perspective.
Or you
Those-
can
If
do
I
I
like-
did, you'd be
As
excited.
long as
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not-
yeah, just cause I like learning,
Insurance is-
that's all, it's just a new
Is it a
experience.
narcotic?
What?
That
I
would
would
be
be like, come on, Jared,
Which
no,
one?
it's
Which
not.
one? You said
It's
so
not
well.
Yeah.
narcotic.
That would be
Yeah.
the issue.
Which one is it you like to bring?
Or
It's
even
pedigree.
maybe the roller kind, would be even less of an issue than like the actual liquid. I don't know. That's a good question. Also, you want some type of hydration, packets for your water each day. There's lots of choices. This is an O2 hydration one. If you really like coffee, it's not great there. So this is caffeine and hydration. And this one's a Benefiber one for those, I think Jared mentioned on here, great trip, is having regular bowel movements, so these are all
I'm just telling
helpful
you.
things.
Done this quite a bit. If you can stay regular. gonna be a great time.
But I would put one of these, in my water at the beginning of the day, and, cause you have to drink a lot. You're out in the sun, you have to drink a lot. Otherwise you're gonna feel pretty terrible.
What was the brand on that?
This one is O2 hydration. This is hydrant, like a fire hydrant that has, caffeine in it. And then this one is a Benefiber, one.
Super Target sells liquid IV,
Yep.
those are really good, and the
Yeah.
taste is good. Some of those ones are gross, just so you know.
Yeah.
Waterboy makes one that's healthier on the salt in it, tastes like you think it tastes like.
So,
But, the super, yeah, it's just like pure salt, it's like saline, but that's what the idea, it's like Powerade minus all the sugar.
What's
I
the
would-
first one?
Dollar Tree
Uh,
has kick flavor, is really good and not too expensive.
I would try some before you go
Liquid IV,
and
Super Target
see.
sells it.
Yeah, we've had the liquid IV ones before. I would just try a few to make sure you like it before you pack them all and you're like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
So.
That's a
right.
great idea.
I think that's where Jared got some of his last time, was the ones you didn't like it.
I bought a big bag at Costco and it's,
You get, when you buy things, you can use American money, and you'll get shekels back, and shekels come in paper or change. So I just put a coin purse on here, because if you don't have a good spot to put all these shekels, and I guess this is more for women, but you're gonna be getting a lot of change back in coins, when you purchase things. I know this is silly, but I put sunglasses because you might wear your sunglasses or have them in the car and forget to actually take them with you, and like the hat, it's really important. And sunscreen, if you want to apply some before you leave for the day, but then maybe have something really small in your bag to reapply, that could be helpful instead of just having one giant thing of sunscreen. But again, just a preference. And the last thing is a variety of bags. These are the Hefty bags. This one's a little worse for wear, but you get the idea. Hefty makes these like 2-gallon bags, and that way, if you have water shoes, and then you can stick them in your bag without getting it gross. If you have your swimsuit and it's not quite dried out yet, you can put them in the bag without getting gross. If you have sand on shoes or whatever, having some of those. Also, if you just pack some empty Ziploc bags, then in the morning, if you wanna take some nuts or whatever they have with you to put in your bag, so that you have a snack for later from the hotel. Cause this isn't your normal hotel continental breakfast. This is a huge spread with tons of food that you may not even think you should be eating for breakfast. But they have a lot, and so if you have bags, to take some things with you, unless you plan on bringing, I know I had an energy bar in here, oh, this one, got this from a dear friend, I ate a lot of them. But packing bags, bars that aren't chocolate based, that'll melt, but you do have lunch, sometimes late in the day, depending on where you're going, so you might be hungry in between breakfast and lunch, so packing bars, unless you're gonna take some from the hotel breakfast area. And then packing bags for things like, you can collect shells, when you go to the road, not the road.
Accessory Maritima,
Yeah,
yep.
there's, what are you laughing about?
It's not legal,
Well, you didn't tell me that.
but you probably won't get caught.
Souvenirs from the sea.
So,
Like, instead of walking on
Seashells.
sand, you're just walking on shells. They're just,
They're gravel.
yeah, exactly.
but,
Do you have to put them in your checked bag?
You gotta
Or you
smuggle 'em.
Take them back?
I've never had a problem, but, or like pot shirts, when you do an archaeological dig, and they say you can keep some of the potsherds, the broken pottery that they weren't able to piece back together to anything. If you don't want that just laying around in your bag, those things to collect. And this may seem silly, but there are a couple places where there's not toilet paper. Most of the time there is, but there's a couple places. And then one time, I just have a small bladder, and I just had to leave the group, and, well, if you don't have toilet paper then, and there was no bathroom nearby, so just had to make do. So, you might wanna have a little bit of toilet paper with you, so you're comfortable. You took me somewhere because I was dying. We left the group.
It was at Tell Dan, and we went to the bathrooms by the exit, which is not the nicest bathrooms in the room.
Sketchy at best, but most of them are nice, but there's a couple that are
There's a
questionable.
beehive in one of them, so that's all. Yeah.
They probably got it up by now.
No, it's always like this, and it has been for 20 years. This, and this is like real 2,000-year-old potsherds that you'll be able to get. And
Those are illegal.
yeah, you can take as much of this as you want to.
So do you have to declare that then, when you get back?
No.
No.
Yeah, there's no value to it.
Okay.
And then also, when we go to the Valley of Allah, you'll probably wanna get, smooth stones, from the brook there, like David did, so. So you'll be able to get stones from the same brook that he got to.
And you'll remind
Kill
us of
Goliath.
that when we get there.
Yeah, that, in just in terms of like things you'll get from bags,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Mhm. And I don't actually have one of these myself, but some people like to carry just like a little tiny camping stool. It's just usually like a 3-legged stool where you can just sit down if you've just been standing for a long time, and it's compact. Some people like to bring a walking stick. I think they unfold,
There's possible hiking poles here.
so that, you know, there's just extra stability if you need it. And you don't need a sweatshirt in Israel to my knowledge, but having one for the plane, it gets really chilly and can be uncomfortable if you're cold the whole time. So,
It may be cool enough in Jerusalem in the evenings that you'll want a light jacket to put on,
long sleeve.
or a long sleeve, yeah, so.
Yeah. So it might seem excessive, but I tried to bring anything that I thought was helpful. And if you're someone that's more of a minimalist and a light packer, you're like, that is a lot of stuff. But I was trying to, try to help for, you know, those things that you might forget. And of course you have a full list of even other things like, you know, medications, if you're like, if I get a headache or whatever, I have it on hand, but. So, you feel ready?
So,
No.
Do
Alright.
they actually make a cane with a chair on it?
Yes, they do.
Do they really?
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
get them at Walmart. We use them in
Yeah.
Adventureland all the time.
Here.
Yep, it folds.
Are you pulling it up?
It's a
Yeah.
seat about this big, it's not very big,
So
and
Missy,
it
like
folds
how
up
many
so that
shirts,
you have the
pants?
cane. It's 2
Oh,
or 3 legs,
well,
so.
you can send for your clothes to be laundered, out if you want. We had one person that preferred to do that.
Not quite. Well, then let me take that back. So, when we stay at Magan, there is a washer and dryer there that you can do yourself. And we're there for 3 nights, so that's a good shot to do. But you do have to watch, and, you know, and you have to pay in shekels. And they'll have laundry detergent that you can buy there. We are staying at Christ Church Guest House in Jerusalem. They do laundry, and depending on if they have enough staffing while we're there, that would be another place that we could have the laundry done for us. But again, it would depend on their staffing, and because of COVID and the war, they've gone from having over 40 staff to 6. So it is, you know, so I can't guarantee it just because of the reduction in staff that they've experienced. But at Magan, there is access to a washer and dryer, so.
And I looked at the itinerary and planned out clothes for each day because I knew that I was gonna sweat and I didn't want to recycle clothes. So I packed clothes per day of the trip. But if you're someone that likes to do laundry and not pack a lot, you don't need to, but you do sweat a lot, it's hot. So that's my personal preference.
It will be cooler than when Missy has been there in the past. just-
Yeah, you are going sooner.
Yeah, so we are going the end of April, beginning of May, so it won't be like end of May, end of June type of heat, so, she is scaring you a little bit.
That is true, I forgot you're leaving sooner.
So, and end of May is a break point, and the end of June is another break point in terms of temperatures jumping up.
Yeah.
This is the, cane that turns into a seat, if you wanted to see what that looked like.
How heavy is that?
Heavy, it's not
Probably
that,
if you go down to the
I mean,
shore more, it'll tell you.
see all
Yeah, but
details.
it's gonna, you only have 50 pounds free.
Versatile.
Wait, it's
2.2
2.2
pounds.
pounds, and that one is up for 300 pounds.
And I do wanna say on that, you need to check to make sure if you need to put it packed. Because the airlines would only let my dad take up a fold-up one because it could be used as a weapon on the plane.
Yeah. And then collapsible hiking poles, I think can be really nice, particularly if you have the rubber tips on there. For, Jerusalem and the old city, because of the limestone, can be a little bit slippery, particularly in spots where people have been pushing their carts. So like the way the step is designed is like this, but then they have these like built-in ramps on the side of the steps for the carts. And if you step on one of those, because the limestone's been there for over 125 years, it's slippery. So sometimes if you're like, Jared, I can dance on ice. Great.
Or if you're like me.
Chris should have a hiking pole for, just in case, you know? So, and then also walking down the Mount of Olives, it does seem like it's been resurfaced recently. It did not seem as slippery as it had been in the past. But it is a steeper grade as we're walking down the Mount of Olives. So, I'm not telling you you have to have it, but, it's just something to consider.
Now, are all of these, packed in your suitcase when you go, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the suitcases Jared and I had were like the
You can put a
really
small person inside of it.
big kind. And then, you know, room for souvenirs and things like that.
Yeah.
So we do need a carry-on.
I've only had one couple ever not have a carry-on.
And how many trips have you?
A lot. So, yeah.
Um,
Hundreds of people,
So-
one couple.
I hadn't even thought about did you say that they like money? They
Yeah, they
prefer
like
money
US
sometimes,
dollars, 'cause they-
or I mean American money?
They wait until they get the highest exchange rate and then they swap out the dollars. So they anywhere takes American money there, mostly.
So for lunches, they will take cash, US currency. The reason being is what Missy said is that they just hold it till the exchange rate's good and then they do a big, cash in. But they'll give you shekels back for your change. Sometimes they give cash back, but I don't see that as often. So if it's a lunch place, they'll do it. If it's, if you decide that you would like to have the true tourist experience in Jerusalem, then we will let you go shopping in the market. And in the market, you can haggle. And haggling with cash is king. It's great. So that's a great place to do it, to barter, right? We'll talk more about that in a moment. A coffee shop, it's a credit card or a shekels, you know, like that. So like if it's a window front place, it's a credit card or shekels. Does that make sense in terms of the difference?
Okay, alright.
Most
I'm
everybody-
just trying to guess like how much cash to bring.
Yep, great question. So I would say that, if you plan on $20 a day for lunch, that should be safe.
Mhm.
And usually it'll come in underneath of that, but that usually is a good benchmark
Okay.
for daily lunch. Then from there, it's really like, what do you wanna do in terms of souvenirs? And then if you're going to like, yeah, Jared, turn me loose in the market, cause I wanna have the haggle experience, then it's exhilarating. But if you're like, I'm only gonna go, if you're like, I'm only gonna go shopping in the one store in Bethlehem, and then you can just use a credit card, that's fine, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, well, that's a good benchmark though, thank you.
I have missed a couple of things, or days.
Yeah, no problem.
Are we responsible for lunches then, or are we, what else included, I guess?
Yep, so it's, so everything's included except for lunch, souvenirs, and, insurance. So, lunches, where we go as a group, but then like, usually, most places, it'll be like, you can pick this, or it's a buffet, and then you're just paying there, yeah, so, yeah, lunches will vary from like schnitzel to, which is, chicken fillets that have been, smashed, like hammered. No, like a
Oh.
schnitzel, and then
Sorry, I
breaded
didn't
and then
know.
fried. And that's from the, German Jewish influence. And then you have, kebabs, it comes with meat that was cooked on a skewer. And then you have shaved meats, like when you think of like a gyro, but they'll have like not just lamb, but chicken and beef in different types at different places. And then you'll have the falafel option, which is mashed up chickpeas that's been turned into balls and then fried in olive oil, which is, yeah, people are surprised, so.
Is it breaded?
Do they taste like hush puppies?
They look like hush puppies, they don't taste anything like hush puppies, yeah, so, yeah, and you know that they're really fresh when you open one up and they're green inside. Yeah, that's, yeah. So, and hummus and vegetables and things like that. And then depending on how one day goes, I try to get you one option where you can get the St. Peter's fish one day, so you can have that experience, from the Sea of Galilee, so.
We might find a coin in the fish?
I hope not, you know, they really did not do their job if you do, yeah, I mean, send it back, you know, so.
What's it called?
St. Peter's fish,
Oh.
yeah.
Tilapia.
So
Does
you
that-
have on here Starbucks versus Instant.
Oh, yeah, so, okay, so in every hotel room, you'll have a hot pot for water, instead of a coffee maker like you have in hotel rooms in the States. And then with the hot pot, you have, teas and then instant coffees. I would actually, I did some research recently about this, Black Rifle Coffee Company actually has better rated travel instant coffee. So, you don't have to have coffee in your room, but if you're like me and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not waiting until I go down to breakfast, like, I'm not gonna look somebody in the eye before I've had a cup of coffee, you know, that's not gonna happen. So, just me, okay. I get up really early so I can have a cup of coffee before I look at anybody in the eye, so she can testify to that. Scurry away into the darkness and drink
Well,
my
in
food.
the rarity that he hasn't had coffee and he's acting a little off, he'll say, sorry, I haven't had any coffee yet, but it's.
Sometimes they'll say, oh, I had too much espresso before I got to church.
Yeah, there's been a couple times on cable where I may have had, you know, close to like 400 milligrams of caffeine before I preach. And it's really not the right amount. It's really about 180 to 220 is about the right amount of milligrams for preaching. So, yeah, I get a little talkative and expressive when it's too much. Is that good? Yeah. Now, the reason, so some people, they have Nescafe in the rooms, and some people love it. Kathleen was buying things of Nescafe to bring home because she loved it so much.
You can buy it.
To each their own.
That's one for one. But Black Rifle Coffee Company and Starbucks Vias, those are instant packages that you can take. Those are pretty good. When you go into the dining hall, some of them will occasionally have like a pot of coffee. That's very rare. They don't do drip coffee in Israel, but almost all of the machines will just be like, you can pick what kind of espresso drink you want, and black coffee will be in there. So there's just machines with screens, and you just hit your button and get your coffee like that. So, and then a few restaurants will have an option, hopefully for some Turkish coffee for you to try, which you gotta let settle because the grounds need to come down, and then you can drink it. But it's very strong, it's very robust, and that'll get you through the afternoons. Slumber. So.
Do they have soda?
Do they have soda? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, all the restaurants, you'll have your pick of like Coke Zero, Coke, Sprite, Fanta, all of that. Yep. Yep. So Diet Coke, if that's your, yep, yeah, you'll be able to get plenty of Diet Coke, no problem. Probably, yeah, because I sent that about 2 hours ago, so. Thanks for pointing that out, yeah. Could have used you yesterday.
Sorry.
Hey, do anything, Melissa? Does any ladies, it'd be weird if it was a man, have any questions for her before she goes?
So does this bag count as a carry-on?
No, I don't think so. You'd be taking people out as you're going out.
Well, actually, I use that as a carry-on.
Really?
I could put it in.
International? That big?
I have,
Wow.
I have a bag that you can wear as a backpack or on your side. And that one's my favorite one to bring since I can wear it as a backpack. But I also put my favorite pillow in there too, because I bring my own pillow with and it's in there, but.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, one piece, if your two piece is covering everything, is that only?
I don't
Yeah, that's fine.
think the others
Yeah.
shoot that.
Yeah. So,
Sleepwear, is it cold at night or is it warm?
well, you have control of your own room temperature, yeah, so it's whatever you want it to be. And all the places that we stay have reliable AC. There's a few times I've been on other people's trips where the hotels have not been, as good for such things. So, the first night at the Grand Beach, I think we did have one person have an issue with their AC, but we just let me know and then we can go, deal with that, so, okay.
What about that screen?
Not really a problem.
I've never experienced issues with
Yeah.
bugs, and I'm highly sensitive to like mosquitoes, and I've never had an issue.
Yeah, I've never seen a mosquito in Israel.
As a fun aside though, if you ask your tour guide David to point out a eucalyptus tree to you.
I'd tell Dan.
These skinny little leaves, you kind of like take your nail to them to open them up a bit and roll them up and put them in your nose, and even if you didn't feel blocked, it's really quite an experience, so just an aside.
It's near the Beehive bathroom.
It's,
so-
it's really invigorating if the coffee didn't do it,
Yeah.
so, anyhow.
Towels provided, towels and washcloths and all that
Yep,
provided?
yep, all that will be, and, even, depending on how you are about shampoos and soaps and stuff like that, that's in all of the rooms as well, so. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Okay, good. Do you guys need a break? It's about
Oh, we're fine.
4 o'clock. You're good?
Yeah.
Keep going? Okay, sounds
Yep.
good. All right, so, day one, bus to Chicago. So, we're gonna leave here at 9:30. We're gonna have a stop at the DeKalb Oasis, which is about an hour 45 from here. If you arrive at the church, you can park your car here, that's no problem for the duration of the trip. Ed will encourage you to park just towards the back side of the church normally, that's where we have, them park, and towards the office side, right? So that'd be the opposite side of the building that we're on right now. Plans to arrive at O'Hare at 1 o'clock, we'll have about 3 hours, to get through security and board our plane. I would encourage you, to have a meal, at the airport. So, you can get some food at the Cal Oasis, get some food at the airport, whatever you prefer. You will have multiple, meals and snacks on the flight to Europe. And then also, a lot of the airlines are good about putting snacks back in the galley. And so like, if you want something else, just go back there and be like, can I get another soda or more water or, you know, another bar or whatever. So, so in terms like, you know, when you fly domestic, it's like, here's your mini bag of Sun Chips. Don't ask for anything else, you know? It's different. So, you know, it's okay. When you arrive in Israel, David and I will be waiting for you along with Bulos, our bus driver. The Tel Aviv airport and Ben Gurion airport is very good about having a Sherpa to take the whole group through in one shot, to make sure that you guys are scanning your passports and all of those types of things, because there's a screening, a facial recognition screening if you have a biometric passport. They're gonna give you a little passport card, and you'll wanna keep that with you to the duration of the trip. And the reason is that Israel does not stamp passports, because there's so many countries that would not let you in if you have an Israeli passport stamp. So they do a sticker and they do a little card. So, so then from Ben Gurion, a short bus ride into Tel Aviv, and our first night will be in downtown Tel Aviv at the Grand Beach Hotel. It's right across from the Mediterranean Sea. And so following dinner, anybody who would like to take a stroll along the beach with me is fine. I'll give you kind of a little mini tour of the White City, go up to the North Port and kind of see northern Tel Aviv there, that area. If you want to just hit the hay, great, you know, we all need to make sure that we're ready for the next day. David, the tour guide, and I, we spent several hours this week just kind of fine-tuning the schedule. Day 3 is our first day waking up in Israel, and we'll have our first breakfast at the hotel. Remember that breakfast is a milk meal, meaning that there will be no meat there because of Jewish kosher dietary laws. There's no mixing of dairy and meat products at any of the meals. So there'll be eggs, there'll be fruits, there'll be vegetables, there'll be cheeses, fish usually, and so plenty of food, but it will be a little bit different than what, like, you won't be getting bacon and eggs, okay? So, now I've got pretty good at finding non-kosher restaurants in Israel, but for the hotels, they are kosher. From Tel Aviv, we're actually gonna drive south into the old port city of Jaffa, and we're going to do a walking tour around Jaffa and talk about relevant passages of what happened in Jaffa, like Peter when he was staying at Simon the Tanner's house, about Jonah boarding the ship to Tarshish, things like that. For me, it's fascinating because, I mean, Jaffa is one of the oldest port cities in the world, right? So we're gonna be hanging out in a 4,000-year-old port city. And so we'll have a very nice morning walking around there. And then from there, we're gonna head north, most likely to Caesarea, for our, probably the most significant site for the book of Acts. and one of the most significant Roman cities that we'll see. From there, we have a very short trip for our overnight. We're gonna stay in a little town called Hadera. A lot of groups don't do this, but I like people to experience Tel Aviv because it really is, in terms of like Israel's premier city, that's Tel Aviv. And then Hadera, the hotel there provides very nice, easy access to the Mediterranean Sea. And so that will give you time throughout the whole trip to swim in every sea except for the Red Sea. So, and then it also has a nice big window dining room overlooking the Mediterranean. And so it's a easy drive, nice place, and it's an easier first day. Everything's very flat in terms of walking to kind of get you acclimated to the time change and to what we're doing, okay? So, some groups, when they talk about like running where Jesus walked, okay, we're not trying to do that yet. So, we'll build. So, from the second day, you'll wake up in Israel, day 4, same thing, breakfast at the hotel, and then we'll do some sites in kind of the western Galilee region, like Megiddo and Mount Carmel and things like that. And then we'll spend the night at Magan, which is on the southern tip of the Sea of Galilee, and that's where we'll be for 3 consecutive nights, right there. And so from that point, the hotel has a beach access to the Sea of Galilee, so you can go swimming in the Sea of Galilee while you're staying there. If you trip, you can say you got baptized.
towels then? Do we need to bring?
Nope, you'll have towels, the hotel towels will suffice everywhere you go, yep. Yeah, Brian,
Speaking of swimming at any of these places, about what time of the
no
day?
speedo. Sorry, I just jumped ahead, I'm
You-
sorry.
I- you
Yeah,
saw
I
I
was
was-
looking at,
you
I
could
saw,
see where
yeah,
I was
right,
going with
yeah.
that.
Lisa
I
sent me a
appreciate
text and she was like, hey, make sure he doesn't bring the speedo, you know.
About what time, local time, will our day end?
Oh, great
To
question.
where we're getting there and being able to do this?
Usually between 4 and 6.
Okay.
Yep, yeah. I don't encourage anybody to plan on swimming in any of the pools because almost every hotel pool closes between 4 and 6. It's the craziest thing because all these hotels exist for tourists and they all close when tourists actually get back to the hotels. It's maddening, but it makes no sense. But yeah, I've gone swimming in exactly 0 swimming pools in Israel ever. So, yeah. But in terms of the Sea of Galilee and the Mediterranean Sea and the Dead Sea, easy peasy.
What time's nightfall then for the beach access?
Usually, I mean, it's Israel, so it's like, you know,
Yeah,
you just go when you want to, you know.
how
So
late do the locals stay out there swimming?
it depends. Yeah. I
It's all
mean,
lit up.
That's what I
Yeah,
want to know, yeah, like,
yeah.
and I'm, yeah.
yeah, it's not usually a problem. Yeah.
So do you have to worry about, I know when I lived in Italy, in the Mediterranean, there was some jellyfish and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, great question.
About that.
So, at Hadera, we will talk to you about what to do if you see a jellyfish. We have never had anyone see a jellyfish. So, it will look like a plastic bag is floating in the water, and you just wanna push them down and push them away. That's all you gotta do.
I
So,
don't touch it, my turn to go the other way.
well, yeah, you just wanna push them down from the top and not from the tentacles underneath, so,
It looks like a blob of spit on the beach.
Yeah, they look like
Yes.
plastic bags,
yeah.
and it doesn't feel, I have messed up.
Right, yeah, it will not be anyways, so again, we'll tell you about them, but no, I've never had a person have an issue with them. But you are like out there like this. We'll see if Jared's right, my foot, you know, like. And then when we wake up at Magan, we'll head up north on day 5 to the Golan Heights. It's a great day, Tel Dan, Caesarea Philippi, depending on how we're doing schedule-wise, try to see the Banyas Falls, and then an overlook into Syria. So, at the Valley of Tears. In terms of, for this group, in terms of like shopping, if you were like, yes, please, hold up a 1. If you're like, I'm interested, hold up a 2. And if you're like, if you take me shopping more than 1 day, I will give you bad Yelp reviews. I don't have a Yelp, but if I did, just imagine it. If you could just close your eyes, nobody judge each other, just close your eyes. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't let your spouse see you, all right? And hold up your fingers. Where are we at here?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, this is fascinating. This is great. Okay, thank you. All right, good. I've never done that before, but I think I just stumbled upon something that was ingenious, so. Ed loves it, yeah.
The genius part, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say I was a genius, just the idea was, yeah, pretty outstanding. Yeah, I was like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense, because there were some things that happened with couples in here that was pretty fun to watch. There's an olive tree factory that I like to stop at the end of this day. And the reason is that, one, there's olive tree products like oils and stuff like that that are really, really good. But they've, so like an olive pit is actually very hard on the environment. People don't realize that. And they've actually concocted a way of repurposing that. And so the guy has, it's a large factory, pretty amazing business. Sometimes the owners there are talking to you. You can like try on the different stuff that they do there. And so it's pretty interactive, pretty brief. End of the day, like we're not missing sites to go to this, you know. And so, so like if a group's interested, it's a great place to stop. And in terms of like, you're gonna meet Israelis and you're gonna, you know, and entrepreneurial ones at that. So, day 6. Day 6 is our day around the Sea of Galilee. Ooh, I should have done this, I'm sorry. On day 4, when we go to Mount Carmel, it's a monastery, and so it's technically a modesty site. Although I've found in recent years that they're not very strict about it. But on the top where we go, Mubraka, it is a Carmelite monastery. So that would be a place to have shoulders covered, knees covered.
I assume you just tell us like the day before, hey, tomorrow.
Yep, yeah, and we'll also send it out in the WhatsApp text. And then day 5, when we're up in the Golan, there's no modesty kit there. Tel Dan, Caesarea Philippi, those are all national parks, and so no problem there. Day 6, when we're around the Sea of Galilee, there are usually two sites where we'll need modesty kits. One site will be the Mount of Beatitudes, because that's also, I think it's a monastery. And then the Capernaum is also there's part of Capernaum that you can go to that's a national park and there's nothing to see. And then there's a part that's under the order of the Catholic Church, which is where all the interesting stuff is. And so they're pretty strict. Like they usually have someone watching the gate to make sure that everyone's dressed appropriately for that. So day 6 will definitely be a day for modesty kits. Okay, so then day 6, we're waking up, we're packing up, we're leaving Magan, and we're heading south. We're going to go down the Jordan River Valley, and we're going to stop at Beit Shan, which is probably the most complete Roman ruins in Israel. Ruins meaning it's not a tell, it's not layers of civilization, it's just like the city's just there for you. And then we'll make some stops in usually Jericho is where we'll have lunch at, and then we'll go to Qumran where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, and then we'll go to En Gedi where David hid out from Saul. And I've tried to lighten that day up enough so that way when we get to the hotel, you'll have time to walk. It's basically like walking a block from the hotel down across the street to the Dead Sea Beach and go swimming, floating in the Dead Sea. So, and we will give instructions prior to that in terms of like how to float appropriately, not get salt in your eye, it does burn, so that kind of stuff. So, and then day 8, we wake up and we climb Masada via a cable car. Yeah.
I wasn't going otherwise.
Yeah, so we do have to have a time for the cable cars, so we will be a little bit more of like, we gotta be on the bus and going to hit our time for the cable car that morning. And then, as Dave and I talked about, we decided to bump up the archaeological dig to this day. This is gonna be a Friday. And since things close early on Shabbat, it makes the day a little bit less stressful. And so the plan on what we'll do, this is gonna be a little bit different for lunch this day, is that Bulos will go and pick up our lunch, and we'll walk down the backside of Masada, and we'll get on the bus and he'll have the lunches there for us. And then we'll eat lunch while we're on the bus, which most bus drivers would never let a group do that, so this is like pretty high level of trust. But Bulos says that Pastor Ed is a good man, and so he's willing to let us do that. So, he never said that about me, but for Ed, he did. Multiple occasions. And so then, when we show up for the dig for a day, we're gonna spend about an hour and a half, and we're in a real archaeological dig where the Idumeans lived. It is underground, and so it's not actually very hot at all. It's actually kind of nice, and so you're not exposed to like the sun and stuff while you're digging. So we will be, and what's kind of cool is that we're digging in the same spot that Edgewood's been going to now multiple times, and so each time we get a little bit lower as we go, and people find real things like olive oil lamps and food bowls and stuff like that. So like, I mean, it's legitimate archaeological dig. So that you participate.
Let you keep the oil lamp?
Nope, not at all. No, yeah. Good stuff you find, they don't let you keep, but then, at the end, then they have big, huge tubs of potsherds, and they're like, take as many as you want, so.
The guy who found the lamp asked, can I take this home with me? And she goes, that's a 1,500-year-old artifact, and if you wanna go to jail, yes.
Yes, yeah, there's options,
But
you
you
know?
can take your pictures with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Is there anywhere, will you tell us anywhere that you cannot take a picture?
Yeah, I'll tell you when to be cognizant of that, yeah.
Okay.
So, there's not really like a site where you wouldn't. When we're walking through like where people live, like in the old city, then I encourage people not to do that, you know? Like if you can be discreet about it, you know, but if you were just like hanging out in your neighborhood and someone just started going by and being like, you'd be like, wait a second, what are you doing with that? So, because when we're in an old city, it's like, you're just in people's homes almost is the way it
Right.
feels like with the way people are out on the streets and stuff, so. I would have some sensitivity there, so. Okay, so then, once we finish the dig for a day, then we'll head into Jerusalem and have our first overnight. We are staying in the old city of Jerusalem at Christ Church Guest House. This will not be the nicest place we stay on this trip, but it is as premium as it gets in terms of a location. And so that's why we're there, is because it makes accessing Jerusalem and what we can do in Jerusalem far better, far easier. When you stay outside the old city and you have to catch a bus to go places, Jerusalem is so congested that you lose tons of time. And so to be able to be in the old city is premium. And these are Protestants who are running this place, and it's the same company that we work with for the whole tour, Shoresh. So this will be Ed and Sheila's first time staying at Christ Guest House. So we've stayed at other places in the old city, but
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
You know, like here, it's customary at a hotel, oftentimes, you know, you leave a tip.
Yep.
Yes.
So
What-
the tips
what's
are
that?
built into the trip.
Okay.
Yep, so David will have tips that he leaves, everywhere we go. And David's very good about, like at a hotel, he'll tip, the kitchen staff, he'll, tip the portage, he'll tip, the cleaning service, and he goes and makes sure that like, the head of each one gets it, as opposed to just like giving it to the front desk, cause then it doesn't get distributed throughout the rest of the hotel. Now, he'll say, David will say, like, if you feel like you want to leave even more of a tip, that's fine, but that's not expected,
Okay.
and it's built into the trip. So that way, you guys don't have to worry about that everywhere you go,
Okay.
so.
Is that true like at restaurants too?
Yeah, so we'll do the same thing for lunches too, yeah, okay, so and because we're staying in the old city, for those who are up for it, I will take us out and do things at night, walking around. Cause there is quite a bit that you can see in the evenings in the old city, like, if we go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and see it locked. It's very interesting. 2 Muslim families control the lock and key. It's kind of a whole thing that they do every night in terms of locking it up. And it's, 3 minutes from our hotel to walk there, so it's very easy. I talked about this last time, I think, in depth, but gelato is very important, okay? Especially at this point in the tour, there'll be some gelato options, not far away. There is, if you guys wanna go into the new city of Jerusalem, to Ben Yehuda Street, it's a little bit longer walk, but it's interesting. If one night you guys wanna do that. Okay, day 9, the bus will take us up and drop us off at the top of the Mount of Olives. And then, day 9 and day 10 are gonna be the most walking that we'll do the whole trip. And so I would encourage you, to make sure that you are putting in your steps now, and that you're putting in your steps walking upstairs or on inclines. So if you just mall walk between now and then, that'll be good, but if you can do some incline, so that way you get a little burn in your calves, that's gonna be great. Because Jerusalem, everywhere you go is uphill. Even if you walk somewhere uphill and you walk back, for some reason it's still uphill. It's a mystery, okay? If anybody ever tells you that they walked uphill both ways to school and they're from Jerusalem, believe them, right? They're telling the truth, okay? So, that was dramatic, right? Okay, so Mount of Olives though, so there's 2 places where you might get pickpocketed, and we'll warn you about that when we're there. One is at the top of the Mount of Olives, okay? There's a couple Arab families that have made their whole living pickpocketing people at the top of the Mount of Olives, 4 generations. They're generational pickpocketers. There's also a blind guy who will sell some tchotchkes. There'll be a guy who wants to take our picture up front, and the quality of what he produces is not great, but for David's sake, because he has to deal with these people regularly, we will be nice to them. You will not have to buy anything. David will be like, here, does anybody want these 1980 bookmarks, 3 for $1, and you do not have to buy it. So just understand that it's just like, it just keeps the whole thing moving, and nobody gets upset, so. I'm not expecting anybody to buy it. If you wanna buy it, feel free to buy it, but this is zero pressure to buy it. David will even tell you before you get off the bus that. So it's just trying to be polite, so. There was, I think it was a Moody student who got his Bible stolen on the top of Mount of Olives, and he was super pumped about that. So, never seen someone so excited to have something stolen from them. And so at the top, there's this observation area, and so we'll look over the Mount of Olives, kind of give you a lay of the land there, and then we'll start making our way down. Depending on how we're doing on time, there's a number of stops that we'll make on the way down, from the Tomb of the Prophets to Dominus Flavit, usually we have a teaching time, to the Garden of Gethsemane, at the Church of All Nations, and then we'll make our way up through the Kidron Valley into the old city of Jerusalem, through into the Muslim court at St. Stephen's Gate. We'll see depending on what time it is, we may go to lunch right then, or we may stop at the Church of St. Anne. It'll just kind of depend on how we're doing. The Austrian hospice is where we're planning on doing lunch that day. That would be a lunch spot where you'd wanna have credit card or shekels, probably not cash. Just cause it's more of like a restaurant and not like a tourist, like tour group restaurant. For like other places where the bus stops is like they're expecting tour groups. The Austrian hospice in the old city of Jerusalem in the Muslim quarter is not expecting a tour bus to roll up because it's literally impossible. So, but they have great food, great coffee, and it will be the most surreal experience of what a tranquil place it is in the midst of like the Muslim quarter. It's unusual in a lovely way. And then we'll go to Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and then we'll go to the Garden Tomb for communion, and then that will kind of be the day for Saturday. Which is great because we're going to be there. That's our only full Shabbat, and we don't have any elevators that we have to worry about. So, you're welcome.
That was an experience, I liked it. Once.
Yep. Day 10, this will be our Old City walking tour more with the Jewish quarter focus. So Lord willing, what we'll do is we'll walk up first to the Temple Mount. And what's very interesting, I'm not sure if you watched the news or not, but they originally, when the Temple Mount went under Jordanian control, they said that the Temple Mount would be a place for interfaith, so anybody could pray up there. And then over years, the Jordanians have kind of pulled that back, and only Muslims could pray up there. And then just, I think 2 weeks ago, Israel announced that they're going to make sure that anybody could go up there to pray based on the original agreement with the Jordanians. And so, if, see how feisty we feel, we might just have to circle up and pray there. Be a provocateur. And then from there, we're gonna walk down to the city of David. We'll do Hezekiah's Tunnel. Hezekiah's Tunnel will drop us off at the pool of Siloam. We'll see that. Pilgrimage Road should be open for the very first time. You guys will be one of the first tour groups to be able to walk up the Pilgrim Road. The Pilgrim Road is the actual path that they would take in the 1st century, and they literally just opened it last year. They've been uncovering it for a decade plus, and so you'll be able to walk up Pilgrim Road to the southern steps in the Davidson Archaeological Park. So that'll be cool. And then from there, we're gonna do lunch. There's a really, probably one of the top 5 hummus spots that we'll go to for lunch. And then from there, David and I have a couple ideas of how we wanna spend the afternoon in the Jewish quarter. There's a few different places that we can go to, but we'll also try to give you some time to shop that afternoon, okay? Day 11, the plan right now is to go to Bethlehem and the Herodium. And at Bethlehem, we'll see the Church of the Nativity, and then there is a guy who is reliable that we'll be able to shop at his shop. If you want like Hebron glass or olive wood, like legit olive wood pieces, that would be the place to get it from. And so that all kind of like depends on how long everybody shops and how long that can kind of fluctuate. And then when we're leaving Jerusalem, we'll stop at Yad Vashem and we'll go through the Holocaust Museum. And then we'll head into Tel Aviv and we'll stay the night in Tel Aviv. And then we'll get up from Tel Aviv and head to the airport and fly back.
What time are we leaving on that?
I'm so glad that you asked me that question. I have that readily available off the top of my head.
4:45 a.m.
4:45 a.m. So it's, the hotel is kind of like a place to take a shower and repack and take a nap, and then we'll go catch the flight. We'll get back about noonish US time that day, and so you'll, which is great because you guys will get back to the Quad Cities at probably 4 or 5 o'clock, and it won't be like crazy driving home or anything like that. So, okay, and that's the trip.
At the Holocaust Museum, is it 3 days into?
So basically Jerusalem, you wanna be modesty kit prepared the whole time, because, Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Church of Saint Anne, all the, Church of Nations, Dominus Flavi, all of those are holy sites. And then in Jerusalem, because we're going up to the Temple Mount, that will be that, and then on day 11, when we're in Bethlehem, we go to Church of the Nativity, so that's another spot, so. Now, just like the museum itself, they're not overly strict, but also, just because they're used to Israelis being there, so. And as you will see in the beaches, Israelis, they're not all the most modest people. So, they're not Europeans, but some of them did have their ancestry come from Europe, so.
Modesty, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The modesty, for men, the shorts, gotta be below.
Knees covered.
Knee length,
Knee covered.
knee covered,
Yep,
knee covered.
yeah.
Okay.
So like the-
So like the pants that Missy had, the
Yep.
long,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, so like knees covered is the basic rule, and shoulders covered. Now, when you go on the Temple Mount, it's a little bit more stringent in terms of like ankle covered, and I think even elbow covered, for women, so. Is that right?
Ankle and elbow?
It was more strict, that was when we got to.
Yeah, well, we had,
That
yeah,
was the only time.
yeah, that was,
the knees, I mean, the whole thing.
What day was that?
the Temple Mount, that will be the, Sunday that we're there.
You'll let us know, right?
Yep, yep.
Well, I was curious how busy the place is, how long the line's gonna be, I know like
I don't think there's gonna be anybody there, John.
that's what I wanted.
Yep, I think it's gonna be one of the absolute best times ever to go to Israel. We're gonna be able to get through and see everything. I mean, I think it's gonna be like 22 when we went. I mean, when we were at the Church of the Nativity, we were able to see all 3 major sections. Most groups might see one at the Church of the Nativity. So, I mean, it's, yeah, it's just gonna be, should be good.
And cooler, so it should
And-
be easy to work.
Right, yeah. Now, so like, you can still get sunburned. So like, even if it feels, you know, like, if it's 70 here, you're not usually thinking about sunscreen. Still put sunscreen on there, cause the sun is very sunny in the Middle East. So, when I was there in April, I was like, it's great, I'm just gonna go. First day, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm burnt. So, because I would never put sunscreen on a 70-degree day here. I just wanna think about it. Still wanna apply there, so, but it won't like zap you, you know, like it does when it's, July.
We won't see you till we get to Ben Gurion Airport, did I understand that?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Ed is your Sherpa.
Ed is our Sherpa
Yeah.
from.
From Edgewood to Tel Aviv. Yep.
Okay.
And he has a great track record.
Lost 2 people.
Yeah, right. But really, that was on them.
Yeah,
They
we found
were,
them.
they were young college age
Yeah.
people. They were dumb. They were doing their own thing. They didn't want to follow directions.
They were enamored with each other.
Yes, they were, yeah, soon to be married. And, yeah, so they were distracted, so.
Wonderful kids.
Yeah, pretty average. No, I'm not great. That was for you, Ed. Yeah, so yeah, Ed and Sheila will do great. And then Dave and I will take you through this part. Yeah. Okay, what else?
What do you have planned for next month? Is it?
Yeah, so March 7th, we're gonna do the class will be on the refounding of the nation of Israel. So I'm gonna walk through how Israel became a nation again after 2,000 years. And so we'll look at some of the key influences, from education to language to culture to food and so forth. And then some of the dynamics around the 1948 War of Independence, 6-Day War, Yom Kippur War, kind of taking you through to where like you're walking into the modern politics of today. So, yeah.
Do you have any particular texts or books that you recommend? Like, I'm thinking of, Redelnick's, most recent book about Israel, or.
Oh, what Christians should think about Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything along that line, or a particular book that you recommend, that you think would be helpful, or does it even?
So yeah, I mean, I think Michael's book is good. There's a couple books I usually recommend afterwards, just because I think people are more, you know, like attuned to reading about it when they have a little bit more familiarity with it. So, my friend Murray Tillis wrote a really good book called Devoted to Israel. It's a 30-day devotional about God's heart for the chosen people, and that's something I think that is really rich to read before going. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had recommended a book by Daniel Gordis, Israel Concise History.
Yes. Yep.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have read that, and
Yep.
I know
Yeah, I
Ann
knew,
is, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name of the
Could
author.
you go to the author's name on the first book?
Murray
Can't
Tillis.
remember the name of it.
Hey, Bob.
So Jared, are you doing classes like this with the other church?
Well, it turns out we have only 2 people going, so I'm just sending them the material for them, and then we have a person from another church in Iowa that's coming that I'm sending material to.
So we're gonna be closer to 20 people than 40?
Yes, yep. We should be 23, I think. So, Tom had to, we had a gentleman drop, due to health issues, and then we had 2 other ladies drop due to husband issues, so.
When are we doing the visas, sorry? When are we doing the visas?
Great question. I have a draft of that email ready to send to you to fill it out online, so. Yep, so we should get that out this week. Okay.
Who wrote Israel Concise History?
Daniel Gordis,
And what was the name of it again?
Israel,
Concise history.
yep.
There's a website called I Am Israel that has some really cute, interesting videos and historical, that's where I sent you the one about Brooklyn.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, in terms of sites, there's, I mean, more every day, so, in terms of videos and things like that.
What is it, iamisrael.com?
I don't know,
.org.
it's to my email, it's I Am Israel, something. He's trying to sell you a video and a book, you don't have to buy it, just, you can just watch.
Everyone's got something.
You can just watch the clips and read the historical information that he has, you don't have to buy his book.
Yeah, so the last thing I was thinking about, okay, if things do ramp up over there.
Yeah.
How unsafe, like, where's the level where we're like, cause I know that insurance won't cover any kind of war or anything like that, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a statement in there. We've never had a problem with that in other trips, in terms of like, I had 2 trips canceled from the October 7th, you know, and they had no problem getting their money back directly from the tour company. That's one of the reasons why we work with them, is that, you know, they've been fantastic through COVID and, you know, been really reliable. They, Mission Valley, because Mission Valley Travel, their bread and butter is actually like with missions and helping missionaries do things. So, in the event that something was to occur, the most, the line is that the airline stops flying.
Okay.
So if Lufthansa's not flying, we're not going there. So, yeah.
No, we can go into Jordan and
To get out, we need more.
to get out.
Yes, yeah, so if we're there and something happens, then we can fly out of Amman and come back, yep, absolutely, so. Which I've never had to do, but my friends who have done it said it was great, easy peasy, no problem.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Well, maybe we can squeeze some Petra then.
Yeah.
So, you gotta look on the bright side. You know, when someone gives you lemons, what do? You know? You throw them at them. So, just kidding, sorry.
It's actually more difficult to go the other way around, because we went to Amman first, and then to The security is tighter.
Tighter, yeah. Yeah, the Jordanians you can bribe, the Israelis you cannot.
I feel so confident.
I mean, you wanna know that.
But you're not gonna have to, guys, it's fine. It's fine. Bribe them for you, okay? That's why you have me, do the dirty work, so. just not
So
gonna do laundry.
when we go shopping and have to do the bartering, you'll do my dirty work. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
too much of a, you know what, $1 to me is nothing compared, $1 to them is their supper for 3 days.
Well, Israel's pretty expensive, so it's not quite that good.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, this is not, it's not Jamaica or,
Okay.
Port-au-Prince or something like that. Okay, so. When shopping,
Mhm.
if you decide to do this, which you don't have to, okay? First rule,
Don't take the first prize.
Be prepared to walk away, that's what Robin said.
don't touch, okay?
Okay.
If you touch something,
That's yours.
you better be planning on walking home with it, okay? So, don't touch. And they will try to get you to put it in your hands. Don't touch, okay? 2, ask, how much? 3, spit and offer 1/4. For you,
Why spit?
$100. 25. Now what the actual movement is a, that's what they do. Yeah. And you wanna beat them to the punch, because when you offer them a 4th, you better believe they're gonna go like that, okay? So if it's 50, you offer them 10, if it's 100, you offer them 20, like that, 25, whatever. 4,
Walk away.
walk out.
What does it say? If they let,
So they threaten you and get me, okay? Now, it's kind of a funny story. So, Moody student, bartering on a chauffeur, randomly, right? He's prepared, coming back and forth with the shopkeeper, and he goes to walk out. And the guy, I mean, they've been working at this for a while, and the shopkeeper goes after him with the chauffeur, and he goes, $20 or I shove this up your, until it comes out of your nose. And Michael said, I think that's his lowest price. So,
But that's only in this one area, right?
yep, just in the market, just in the market.
And this one guy.
No, there's a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys.
Is there enough English speakers where you can actually do that?
Yeah, they're used to haggling with Americans, right? So like usually the older they are, then like there's like a break point. So like if they're real old, they don't have good English. If they're like boomer, they do, and if they're real young, then usually they don't. They're almost always Arabs in the Christian Quarter is the main like shopping area on King David Street. Now, if you want like legit stuff from antiquity, like a widow's mite, then we have Zach's shop. Zach's a believer, he's been doing good work, reputable guy, and I'll take you to his shop.
What's a widow's mite?
Windows.
You know, when she only put two in the offering
widows.
plate when she
Oh,
was
yeah.
out there,
It's like a
and she gave more than all the others.
Yeah, but what is,
It's a coin.
oh, it's
That's
just
coin.
It's a
a coin,
coin,
okay.
yeah, it's a
And
very
then,
small, very
so
small.
that's, Old City, and then, we have one shop in Bethlehem. The guy he owns a parking garage that's big enough for buses, and so we can park there for free and walk to the Church of the Nativity if we go to his shop and shop. When we go to his shop and shop, he'll have all of his employees there, and we're talking like a lot. And then in terms of like olive wood, jewelry, stuff like that, and they'll be walking around and doing that kind of stuff, offering you teas and stuff like that, which you can drink the tea, they're not gonna charge you, it's all complimentary, but there will be people kind of helping facilitate that experience. And then also they're willing to ship things back, and if you get something like Hebron glass, which is expensive, you should have them ship it back to you, because if it breaks when shipping, then they will have to take care of that, versus if you carry, and I've had people carry it back in their luggage, and it did get broken, and it's very disappointing.
Are they still shipping right now even with the tariffs? Cause we ran into them when we were in Greece, we're not shipping now because of all the tariffs.
Yeah, Israel's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't have any issues. I don't think you'll have any issues. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's shop, but it's like a shop. Now, if you have something very specific that you know that you want, then let David and I know at the beginning of the trip, so that way we can be like, hey, we'll make sure that we keep that in mind.
Are you gonna go to any real jewelry shops?
So these two would be like the jewelry shops, yeah, the legitimate.
Silver, gold?
Yes, yeah, you got it. So, particularly Zach's shop is the one I recommend for that, yeah, so. Like Lewis got his wife like legit jewelry, and I took him to Zach's shop for that, so. Okay. Also at Qumran, if you want like Dead Sea products, stuff like that, Ahava, then you can get that there. Ahava Dead Sea products are expensive, but they are exquisite, and so, yeah, again, entirely up to you, so.
Should we practice on spitting?
I think so, yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea, you know?
My sister could spit between her two teeth.
Oh, yeah, problem right there, yeah.
Since we don't have as many people as we had originally, has the price changed as far as what's due on the 19th?
No, price are same. Yep.
So, because one booklet said one price, one booklet said the other.
Yeah, so when we combined trips, the price went down, yeah.
And it's the 5,500?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the address handy on that?
I think you just sent it out on the email. I got an
it-
email.
I think the address is on that sheet there?
Yeah.
Did you get an email? About it? I just got an email. Oh, did you pay the whole shebang? Okay. I haven't done it. No wonder they're sending me an email.
Mission Valley Travel.
I'm trying to remember where it's on the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at my emails.
Rose
And then the amount would be with us, 750, how about 750 plus the 55?
No, the 750 is part of the 55. Yep.
We deduct that off.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Wasn't sure.
Nope, yeah, absolutely.
The balance is, I think Mission said the 21st.
Sounds right, yeah. Yeah.
That's still, I mean, that was a month ago.
Yeah, that shouldn't have changed.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Either, 21st or 24th. Yeah, it's probably February, but 21st, 24th. You can,
It's
said
really
19th.
soon.
Said the 19th.
February
Oh.
What does it say? It says the 19th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
it on there, on the bottom.
Yeah, I've never,
It's in red.
it's in red? Yeah, you're gonna learn a little bit about me then, just something being in red probably isn't gonna be a big deal to me. So,
Does,
So
Poor
if we,
Missy.
if we get health insurance from a different company,
that's fine.
and we just have to send, like, when we send up money, we can send the account and the.
They will, yeah, so they'll wanna know, and, cause what Israel requires, or what the company requires for Israel trips is health, travel insurance. Yeah, so from there, it's whatever your level of risk is, so, yeah.
so when I paid, they also wanted to
Right,
know my,
yeah.
traveler number and all those other things when I paid.
What's that?
When I paid, then they also wanted to know my KT and known traveler number and all those other numbers that I use when I fly.
Okay.
They asked for them.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Well, my biggest concern is how is Missy and the boys gonna survive without you?
Probably a lot
Worry about
better
her.
than him being gone, than him being here. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Can't remember how to do all quiz. Yeah, they'll be okay, yeah, just not the first rodeo.
They'll
Yeah.
survive,
Yeah.
but it won't be.
Oh, you could have a free one. Did you guys get to see this?
Oh, I,
Yeah. Okay. All right, other questions?
I'm going shopping before I leave.
If we're not gonna be here on the seventh, will you have this available?
Yeah, we can
to
set up.
review?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is video?
Yes, I'll send it. And that's
where's the video posted for?
I don't have them all video, but the ones I have, I can.
The next one is, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we send you an email to say we need you to send the video? Cause we won't be here on the seventh.
Okay, I'll read it.
Okay, thanks.
We won't be here on the seventh either. Sheila?
Is anybody gonna be here on the seventh? Oh my god.
I think it's you and us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I should be like talking to myself in a room. Wouldn't be the first time. But done a lot of COVID preaching, just me and a camera. Little lonely. Got used to it though. Okay? John, you wanna close us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to go on this trip and to learn more about you, to try to get closer to you, to meet this new family, Lord, travel together, enjoy each other's company, and we ask your blessing on the rest of our preparations. Be with us while we're there. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Email or text if you have questions. Yes.
You know, actually.
We will have lanyards, while we're
Yeah,
there too.
I feel like I've got so many sticks in the fire.
I have to start focusing, like, I just have too many things going on.
Mhm.
I'm Bruce, by the way. I don't think we had, I was sitting next to you the whole time. Paula, this is my wife Kathy.
Hi Kathy.
Ann, hi Ann, I'm Bruce.
Yeah. Hey Kathy, yeah.
Are you guys
That
Edgewood?
One
You guys are Edgewood members?
I'm community Christian fellowship downtown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I go to First Street Bridge.
First Tea Free on 7th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
This
so,
must be
yeah.
for the video.
But I've known, Missy for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's how you got
Yeah.
connected? Great. Wonderful. Well, nice to meet you both.
Yes.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, like, yeah, and like last. with Ocean Valley, both for war and for COVID. I think.
That's quite all right.
So,
We don't recommend the Christmas market,
which I think,
but I
you know,
really love
55
Martin Luther Day.
This is the price for two tracks.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Christmas
So that's great.
market's really
Yeah.
crazy, busy.
It was 3/4 of it was
So, yeah, I mean, I don't.
Okay.
and then the rest of it was
Usually.
more commercial stuff.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
it was not handcrafted stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like in
that's what you
Israel,
want.
like if you have a New York trip,